I released a video a few weeks ago now discussing some YouTube ads that are exploiting popular IPs and including sexual content in these ads that violate the YouTube terms of service, promote indecent content to kids, and also presented a double standard in what YouTube would allow on the platform in comparison to what creators can include to what ads can include. Obviously, there's always going to be a double standard on YouTube. Music videos are always going to be allowed to have more graphic content. I mean, it says very clearly in our language guidelines that a song is allowed to include very graphic language, while a video would get demonetized for doing the same thing. But the sad reality is that most of those problems are out of YouTube's hands. A lot of those decisions reflect what advertisers are willing to put their money on, because that's how it's rated. Advertisers are more likely to put money on music videos. Though that doesn't mean YouTube isn't trying their best. Even recently, they've lightened up on their language policies again, allowing creators to be more loose with their vocabulary, and YouTubers are making more money than ever. This is much more of a career opportunity than it ever was in the past. The problem lies with YouTube's ratings and reviews for advertisements, as for some reason the company doesn't seemingly review any of the ads they publish on the platform. As such, it leads to ads like this one, and unfortunate out of context clips like this. But no, this sussy little pink imposter sitting on an emergency button with their insane curves promoting their free online games is okay. I feel like it should have been very apparent by my last video, and it was the general consensus that most people agreed with on my last video, that YouTube should be reinforcing their rules against these ads. But there was a problem I didn't touch on my last video because I felt like it would be too in-depth, so I decided to make it its own video. Luckily enough, the issue I wanted to discuss has had many videos released recently that presented good examples to help my case. So today I'd like to delve into the wacky world of YouTube advertisements, kid content on YouTube, which often now just includes other people's stolen artwork, and the sad lack of response from Team YouTube on any of these issues. But hold your horses for just a minute. This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot kindly provided me their E7 standing desk, which will be linked in the description, and it is incredible. The desk is able to withstand a 125 kilogram weight capacity, while being able to rise and fall at 3.8 centimeters a second. And as a personal little favorite part of this desk, the fact that you can save presets and quickly switch between them if you want to be in any sort of position while using this desk is incredibly efficient, and it just looks cool. From setup to usage, I've loved every part of this desk. The step-by-step guide made it very easy to put this desk together, even for me, and it was an all-round fun experience. Oh, that looks so cool. And because this desk is so customizable, with some stylish desktop customizations, you can truly make this desk fit any kind of environment. And because they also provide a shelf to go under the desk, you don't even have to worry about the cables. That being said, I think the FlexiSpot adjustable E7 standing desk is an incredible product and addition to any workspace. As mentioned prior, the link is in the description, and with that being said, back to your regularly scheduled program. Before I begin, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. I make videos every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, though I've been a little lax on that schedule lately. I'd also appreciate if you could check out my Discord. It's a reworked community now. That being said, let's delve into it. Examples of this issue have existed on YouTube for quite a while now. If you remember the Elsagate controversy that stormed the internet a few years ago, the controversy can be broken down into a very simple explanation of what the content was and why it was removed from YouTube. If you've ever seen an Arcade Craniacs video, you'll know how kid content can be used in mature and adult ways with some more adult themes. But the Elsagate controversy was on another level. Basically, this content included full depictions of like graphic acts. As an example, there's videos like, and to be honest, I don't even know if I can show this, Elsa's forced slavery, a certain German world leader with Mickey Mouse doing a dance, and the German world leader is also a stripper, 5 little German leaders jumping on the bed, nursery rhymes for children, and this one, which is actually a YouTube ad from a year ago, I feel sick aroused by spiders. Basically, this content is aimed towards a kid audience but includes very graphic content in it. And this used to be a huge issue because it was very clear that YouTube didn't know what content should be allowed on their platform. And as such, it took YouTube way longer than it should have taken for them to remove this content. But after that, YouTube set out a very clear rule. You were not allowed to upload videos like this to the platform and market them towards kids. But something very important I'd like to highlight about all of these videos is they're always these very made animations where they've very clearly stolen some other artists' work, poorly traced it, and then published it as their own content, which is illegal. And that's why it's incredibly weird to see a rise of that exact same content now. I mean, in some of these examples, it's very clear they've literally just taken the assets from the games and just edited them to be As I said, it reminds me a lot of Elsagate, when videos like Minions Banana left alone crying and herself was a video allowed to be on YouTube. But a great example of the dark reality of the theft that's going on very clearly with these videos cropped up recently in Miss ZZ, a content creator I know. Their video discusses how some artwork they released to their Instagram back in April had now been traced and then shamelessly slapped into these terribly produced videos marketed towards kids and put as ads on YouTube.
Okay, upon seeing this, I had to double check because I just wanted to make sure I was seeing that right. Despite how obvious that it was traced, I was in denial, so I decided to track down the original video and yeah, it's traced. Also, in case for some reason you don't believe me, here's the two images laid on top of each other. Also, this video was posted on May 19th, and my art was posted to Instagram and Twitter on April 14th. Moving on, something that a lot of people said is that I should strike down the videos. And honestly, I could. After all, they were stealing my art. So I went ahead and did just that. I struck the videos, and at the time, all I had to do was wait. It took a little bit because, believe it or not, YouTube is not very responsive to their own creators. I wasn't really expecting the dude to try to contact me, but he did. He first sent me an email introducing himself as the owner of the channel and asking where they violated my rights. So, like a child, I basically responded saying the usual, "You stole and traced my artwork, that's not allowed, blah blah blah." Even though I explained the situation pretty goddamn thoroughly, they didn't really understand, and in my opinion, their words were a bit slimy in some of these emails. However, I'm also guessing that his first initial language isn't English, so whatever. Anyways, the first interesting thing that I noticed in this part is where they mentioned that they ordered the art from an artist. After a few more emails, I got a more definite answer. Turns out that he ordered all of his stills from a random freelancer on a Russian website. He also gave me the name and the exact order number if I ever wanted to contact the seller, and in case you're wondering, no, I didn't do that. Maybe I would've, but the website is foreign to me, and in order to contact somebody, you have to have an account. Personally, I'm not very comfortable with that. Also, I can't even be too sure if this is true because the person has nothing in their portfolio. So, yeah, thanks for that super helpful information. Anyways, moving on, he understood that he has to take full responsibility for the situation and offers to give me credit. Yeah, you heard that right. This person just admitted to me that they paid someone else to trace my art and then offered me, the original artist and owner, credit. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty shitty deal if you ask me. So, of course, I rejected their oh-so-generous offer. After some more exchange, we finally settled on something. He would edit all the videos that uses that one piece of art and take it out. I did check, and they held their word. Personally, I would have been glad if it just ended there, but it didn't. After that debacle, I went off to see if my art was being used in other videos of the same variety, and yeah, there absolutely is. So I went ahead and did what I did last time. I struck those videos. So considering what happened recently, I was prepared to receive another email. However, I wasn't expecting another email from the same person that I was just talking to. He messaged me again, asking why I struck the videos on their second channel. What? Excuse me? Okay, this was the moment that I was switching from being just annoyed to angry. So not only did this person use stolen art, not only did they allegedly pay a thief for said art, not only did they just offer me credit, but now it turns out that he's running two channels, both monetized and both probably making bank based off of the view count. And honestly, for all I know, they could be running more than two channels because this type of content spreads like lice.
I feel this works as a great point to accentuate my argument because it highlights very clearly how easy it is to get away with this behavior. These channels are verified channels with over 100,000 subscribers stealing other people's artwork and passing it off as their own for their terribly made videos. ZZ mentions in their video that they strike down these videos that were stealing their assets because it's illegal, and I saw for some reason that became a point of contention with this whole situation. Some people were arguing that the person who made the video that ZZ struck down may have paid someone else like they claimed, and ended up with the artist tracing ZZ's work without them even knowing. Now, very obviously this is a possibility, but YouTube strikes are reversible, quite easily in fact. I don't really think the content creator who's had their assets stolen should have to go through the work of contacting the person before taking down the video stealing their assets. I feel like it should be on the person who's in the wrong to reach out to the person who they've wronged. But even if this person didn't actually use these assets knowingly, maybe they did happen to just hire the wrong person. The fact that after ZZ struck down the videos on their channel and went looking for other videos and found more videos with that same asset, and when they took those down they got messaged by the same guy who owned the original channel who was saying they were taking down all the videos including this asset, which means that they weren't actually taking down all the videos including this asset, I think that speaks volumes for how guilty this person actually treated themselves. Furthermore, I feel like this highlights a very clear issue with YouTube. It is disappointing to see that YouTube takes so long to put these strikes in effect. ZZ makes it quite clear that this content stayed up for quite a while after they striked it down. That's not really great news when that content is literally stolen. It should be much easier to approach YouTube themselves and highlight these issues and just see if they could remove this asset from every video, instead of leaving people in this uncomfortable middle ground where they have to manually search out every single video that may possibly include their asset and then strike it down manually if it's stealing and plagiarizing their work. But this example pales in comparison to the sheer amount of advertisements that are stealing people's hard work, monetizing that artwork to show their terrible games on YouTube, and actively editing that artwork to be provocative and sexual. This is literally a lawsuit waiting to happen with how many completely stolen IPs there are here. I genuinely do think it's a really big issue with these advertising companies stealing other people's hard work and passing it off as their own to soullessly use it for money making. These YouTube ad games are terrible enough without literal copyright theft. If you've had any of your artwork used in any of these ads, please do forward it to me and I will see if I can reach out to YouTube about it, but at this moment there's really not much we can do. YouTube, as I said in my last video, lacks any sort of review for these ads, and as such these companies run rampant, violating the guidelines, producing indecent content for the ads, and also using other people's copyrighted work as their own content for a cheap cash grab, while simultaneously violating the intellectual property rights of many big brands. But with that being said, I've spent way too long in this video because I keep putting it off, so that's all I have to say for today. As this video was a follow-up to my previous video, it didn't have as much information in it, so if you'd like to watch the previous video, I would suggest watching it. It functions like a part 1 to this video, and now I've got my whole new setup set up, I can finally start working on content again in a refreshing new work environment that feels fun and alive. I'd like to give another final thanks to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. The link will be in the description. I appreciate everyone who's supporting this content as of late. It really does mean a lot how well these videos are doing. You've literally given me a career just for making commentary videos, and that means a lot to me. Thank you. But for those of you that are new to the channel, I'd appreciate if you could scroll down below and click subscribe on this video. That would be highly appreciated as I make these videos every single day. This video was a lot less in depth because I feel like I presented most of the points in my last video pretty well, but most of my content on my channel delves very deep in serious situations, so if anything else on my channel looks like it might appeal to you, I'd suggest giving it a chance even if you didn't enjoy this video. Thank you for watching, I will see you next time, and peace.
I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with a nigga like me. We can catch a fly. Said she wanna rock with a nigga like me.